It's a classic metal show right here on the classicmetalshow.com. That is Red Rain with Toxic from their forthcoming EP. And our good friend Sammy Lee is in the chat room, or at least he was. I think he's still in there. But anyway, this is Neely rocking with your Classic Metal Show. Just waiting for Chris to get back from wherever he's at. Where'd you go, Chris?
I'm here. I'm just not paying any attention at all.
Are you still watching the your
Homeland? No. No, I was listening to tunes.
I can't pull myself away from watching Homelands long enough to do the show.
Believe me, if there was a way to do both, I would.
Yeah, I'm sure you would.
But then it would sound like 2 weeks ago, just all fucking disjointed and shitty.
Sure. All right, well, our good friend Sammy Lee text me today, and Sammy, if you want to call into the show, 800-497-5891. He had brought something up to me that he just wanted to make a general discussion.
Okay.
Apparently, you know that Red Rain is working with Chipster PR.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And Chipster is a very prominent PR firm in the music industry, and Chip has been around for decades.
Right.
And he should have some pull as far as getting his artists represented out there, getting them some work, getting them some promotion.
Sure.
You know, which is what he does. That's how he makes his money. If his clients are successful, he's successful.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Well, Sammy said that Vince Neil has scheduled a couple of shows in his area.
Mm-hmm.
And Vince or Chip has been working trying to get Red Rain some work.
Okay.
So he thought that, being that they're in that vein of hard rock, you know, I don't know if you'd call them metal, but they're you know, just on the verge of a very strong hard rock band.
Sure.
He thought maybe I could get them an opening slot for Vince Neil.
Okay.
Well, apparently Vince is playing at some club venue. I don't know how big the place is. Mm-hmm. And that's why I kind of wanted Sammy to tell his own story. But he said that the venue or the promoter opted to have a cover band open instead of an original band.
Okay.
So they would rather have somebody who can do their best Poison cover or their best, you know, LA Guns or something before that they would allow a band like Red Rain open up for Vince Neil.
Sure.
So his question to me was, would the fans prefer to see an opening band that's a cover band before that they would see an original band?
Wow, that's a toughie, because they're ultimately seeing a Motley Crue cover band as the headliner.
Well, but the thing is that, you know, at least Vince actually sang the songs.
Yeah.
I mean,
geez, I don't know. I wouldn't. I would, if I knew that there was a cover band opening, I would for sure show up late. Where I might go and see this band that I've never heard of.
Well, would that drive you to go see them, you know, if you knew that it was an unknown, you know, opener? Or would that also be one of those, I'll just stay away?
Well, if it was an unknown opener, I would look them up first. That's me. I mean, when I don't know who the band is, you know me, dude. I really don't love concerts anymore.
I know.
I kind of would rather never go to them, actually. But when I do go to shows, you know, it's got to be, you know, I definitely find out who's playing at what time. You know, now that it's the one perk that I have being in the business that I actually use.
Sure.
Which is I find out what time everybody's playing. And if it's a band, you know, if the band is somebody that I have no idea who they are, I'll go look them up. And if I find them and I like them, I'll go see them. And if not, fuck that. I'll wait till 9:20 when the real band comes on.
Sure. Absolutely. Well, speaking of that, would you I take it that the appeal of going to a show like a Rock on the Range is just not there for you anymore.
I hate it. If I don't have passes where I can meet the bands and hang out, then I don't even want to go. And truthfully, the last year of Rock on the Range, I only saw like 4 bands play in 3 days. I had no interest in standing out in the fucking heat with 40,000 people watching a bunch of half-ass bands.
Okay.
That just sucked.
Well, that's fair enough. I mean, I'm always interested in your viewpoint on, is it because you just don't enjoy it anymore? You've just lost interest in it, or is it just too much of a hassle now?
You know what? Part of it is a hassle, and a big part of it is I've seen everybody that I want to see, and I've seen them play better than they do now. And that's almost universally. Who's playing better than they did in the 80s of the bands that we like?
Right.
I don't think any of them. Do you?
I think maybe you might have an exception like Extreme.
Maybe. I don't know.
I think they're playing very well at the moment.
Metal Church?
Metal Church is playing really well right now, at least when I saw them. And, of course, Armored Saint, too.
I watched, Armored Saint was great. I watched Metal Church, was it today or yesterday? One of the two. On the this weekend was the Wacken Festival.
Okay.
And they had, that live stream that they do is brilliant. I mean, they do a great job with the streaming of it. And I watched quite a few bands play. And I'll be honest, that's all the more I need anymore. I watched Iron Maiden play. I watched Metal Church play. I watched one of my all-time favorites that we never play or talk about here, Arch Enemy play. There was just a bunch of great bands. I watched Testament play last night. But that's all the more I need. I don't need to go see them anymore. I've seen them. And that's kind of the thing is once I've seen them now, like you enjoy, even if you didn't know Dokken, let's just say you didn't know Don,
mm-hmm.
you would still go because you get that fucking adrenaline rush from the show.
Yeah, there are a select number or group of bands that I will still go see.
And see those bands for me that are like what Dokken was to you, either are no longer in existence or stink. The two that I would never miss back in the day was Pantera and Metallica. Saw each of them at least 35, 40 times. I know for a fact I saw Metallica more than 40 times. Literally planned my whole move from California here around Metallica shows. So I would go see them all the time, but now they stink live, so I'm not going to go see them.
Sure, fair enough.
Because it's depressing. And, like Pantera or, I don't know, Judas Priest is not as good as they used to be. And these are my favorites. Black Label, that kind of goes up and down, but that's kind of, for me, it's just not, I don't come out of it. I'm like, fuck yeah, that was so worth going.
Yeah, it's been a while since. Well, I can't say it's been a while because I saw Armored Saint and Metal Church in June, and I did leave the venue with that feeling of that was fucking awesome.
Yeah, well, and that's like I'm going to see Dio, not Dio. I'm going to see Slayer with Death Angel and Anthrax, and that's gonna fucking kick ass because I love all 3 bands. And I'm willing to go for that because I love all 3 bands. And, I'm going to go and see the Fake Babies because I always liked the Babies. I never saw them back in the day. So, for me, there's, some interest in that because I never saw them before. But, to go see, I don't know, LA Guns, I'm sure they're still very good. I mean, you've seen them probably more recently than I am, and I'm sure they're still really good. But I saw them in the day. I saw them in 1992 open for AC/DC, and they're never going to beat that.
Sure.
So to me, it's all. And again, maybe it's because I don't judge things. I always judge stuff that I've already seen before against it.
Right.
And I think I walk out of the shows now. Kind of like, that wasn't as good as what I remember.
Sure.
You don't do that? You don't?
Well, yeah,
you don't...
I have done that, yes.
But so let's say you went and saw, I don't know, Enough's Enough, who we're friendly with, but I think we both like their tunes as well.
Sure, absolutely.
seeing them now is not depressing to you.
Yeah, it is. It is. I would agree. Yes, it is.
You know, and for me, it's like, well, you know what? I'll just keep my memory. That's good enough.
Sure.
You know, so I don't know.
Yeah.
You agree or not agree?
I do agree. Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, fellas, it's Matt from Minnesota.
Hey, what's up, Matt? How's things going in Snatchland?
Beautiful. I actually wanted to comment on the, you guys were talking about the cover bands opening up for national acts.
What's your thoughts, Matt? Because our good friend Sammy Lee, who is in an original band, got blown away that he couldn't open up for Vince Neil because the promoter preferred a cover band opening up instead.
Well, obviously I hail from Minnesota, and we have the big band Hairball that comes from Minnesota. You guys, have you heard of them?
I know of them. I have seen their name, but I've never heard them, so I don't know.
They're part of the Ron Keel stable.
Oh, okay.
Are they Ron Keel? Is there a connection there? I didn't know that.
Well, that's because I'm smarter than you, Matt, but go ahead.
Well, I know that. No, I was just going to say, those guys pull in huge crowds, like 1,000 plus.
Okay.
And it's I always kind of wonder that, like, they're just basically a cover band, but a great band. I've seen them live so many times. They're so good.
Well, they're a tribute band, right, Matt?
Yeah, a tribute. I mean, they have like 3 or 4 different singers who kind of come out and they kind of dress the part of the singer, but they're really good, but yeah, that's
So they're kind of a Vegas-y tribute band, kind of like kind of like what they do on the Rock Vault, raiding the Rock Vault in Las Vegas. They play the
absolutely.
tunes.
Basically the same thing.
Uh-huh.
And I've seen those guys, well, ever since I turned 21, however many years ago, but I love seeing them, and they're great, but it always does boggle my mind how they pull in a bigger crowd than, say, if, just off the top of my head, like Ellie Guns comes through, and I go see them at like a little bar in Minneapolis, and it's like a couple hundred people show up. It's always kind of feel bad, like, God, a few hundred people show up, and then, but for Hairball, they can pull like 1,000. I mean, that's just...
So Matt, are they a regional act? Do they play pretty frequently in your area then?
Well, I'll say 5 years ago they played all the time, but it seems like when I go on their website now and just see where they're playing, they're like playing all over. What's that? You guys were talking about that place in was it South Dakota?
Yeah, that would be the Ron Keel connection.
The
Badlands Pond.
Yeah. Aren't they the house band for that when they have like Gene Simmons or those kind of big names come through? I think they're the house band for that.
That would be why I said they're connected to Ron Keel.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that. I apologize. But yeah, but they're actually really good live, and they do a fantastic job. But
how many times? How many times have you seen them, Matt?
5 or more. But I've seen them in fairgrounds to like small little dive bars. So I've seen them in so many different scenarios. But they're always like really good. They really do fucking rock.
And what is their tribute? What is the majority of their tribute music? Who do they pay tribute to mostly?
Well, yeah, it's mostly like 80s rock, but they do like Queen and like Prince. Obviously in Minneapolis, I mean, anytime you play Prince, it's great, but it's mostly fucking... I mean, wasn't the guy who started it from... What's that band? His name was like Chainsaw or something. Like, it's like an 80s band that just didn't make it in Minneapolis. I can't even think of the name. You guys know of it?
Jackal?
Chainsaw? No, like his name, like the guy's nickname was like Chainsaw, but I just can't think of the name. They were like an 80s rock band in Minneapolis that just didn't quite make it. I don't know. Who knows?
That's the reason we don't know who they are, Matt, because they probably didn't quite make it.
But, I mean, as Hairball, they do really good. I think they did a big thing out in Vegas a couple of years ago, and, I mean, obviously they're just a glorified tribute band, but they're so good, and if you guys have never seen them, I just wanted to call and say I've seen them, and they really do. I mean, they really put on a hell of a show. Just for
hey, Matt.
Yeah.
In your estimation, is Hairball pretty good? Are they really good?
Yeah, well, I mean, I would say so, but I mean, obviously they pull in crowds, so my word.
Well, I just
really
wanted
matter.
to know if they were really good or not. Because I don't want to waste my time and money if they should happen to come through the area.
On a scale of 1 to 10, where would you rate them, Matt?
Well, considering you guys have seen everybody, and you guys can float through whatever crowd. For me, they're very good and they're very entertaining. For you guys, I would definitely say check them out. Yeah, they're great. I'd say on a 1 to 10 scale, a good 7.
Wow, a whole 7.
Chris, that's out of 10. Come on, that's pretty good. And by the way, Neely, I just ordered a shirt off the website, so...
You did that today?
Yes. Are those shirts 100% cotton?
Well, Matt.
Matt, they are the best. They are the best quality shirt that money can buy.
Well, goddamn, when you send out the one to Matt Shaver in Minnesota, then you know it's me.
All right. Well, Matt, did you order an extra fat, or what size did you order, Matt?
Well, I was wondering because I border between the XL and XX. If they're 100% cotton, I went for the XX.
Okay.
Because I didn't know if they were pre-shrunk. But
should I read the list of fibers that are involved with this, Matt?
No, that's fine. I think I'll just take the XX, and if it's either if it's too thick or bulky, whatever else.
Sure. Well, Matt, on a more important note, how are things with Aubrey? Everything good?
Everything's good. We spent the whole day motorcycling south of Minnesota. She's working tonight, so.
Did she make you go face down in that snatch after 2 hours of motorcycle riding?
You know what? I cannot talk about her at all. But thanks for asking. I'll let her know you asked.
Well, Matt, you intrigue me. So, I always like to know if things are good in Pussyland.
Like I said, I cannot talk about her.
Are you on a restraining order, Matt?
I'm not. I'm just, out of respect to her, I cannot talk about her privately.
Are you on a short? Are you on a short leash, Matt?
Nobody puts Matt on a leash.
Does she have you by the short and curlies?
No, I don't. I'm just not going to talk about Aubrey on That Metal Show anymore.
Well, this isn't That Metal Show.
Yes. Oh, hey, by the way, Chris, how far is your museum from the Hard Rock? And not the Hard Rock, I'm sorry. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, because...
They're telling us you got to go, Matt.
Matt, it's an hour and 30 minutes from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Well, she really wants to go to Niagara, and I really want to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and there's kind of that happy medium, an hour and a half drive each way. So
well, if you shoot down 80, 76 to 80, you'll hit the museum, then shoot straight up 79, and you'll take you right to Niagara.
Well, that'd be great. And also, before I go here, I recently updated my Amazon Prime so I could watch those Inside Metal documentaries.
We're very influential in that, Matt. Very influential.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I watched one last night. I watched 2 earlier, and anyway, I'll let you guys go. I don't want to tuck your ear off.
All right, Matt. I don't want you to get in trouble with Aubrey. I don't want Aubrey kicking you in the balls or something.
Well, if I may look I'll check with her and I'll call back next time. But
Okay,
you guys take it easy and
check with her.
Hail and kill, boys. Bye.
Fuck you, pal.
I know Matt gets under your skin, but
I fucking hate him.
I'm not allowed to talk about her anymore. I love it. And I love that graphic AOR Rocks has in the chat room. I will eat your family.
Yeah.
But it says FAMILLY.
Yuck. That's just...
It says family.
My goodness. Would you put anything in that?
No. No, look at that nasty thing.
That's really gross.
Yeah, I will eat your family.
Yeah, no shit.
So there goes Matt.
That's brutal.
Matt wants to come to your pinball palace. If he has the $20, will you still let him in?
Yeah, I'll let him in.
Okay.
I'll take the money.
Will you take a picture with Matt if you're at the palace when he comes there?
Does he have another 20?
So you will charge him for a picture?
No, I would take the picture.
Would you hang out with Matt and play a game with him? Would you?
Absolutely not.
No game.
No game.
All right. So Matt says, challenge me at this pinball machine or one of these video games. You would not do it.
He wins.
You would say, Matt,
I've
I've got work to do. It was nice meeting you. Thanks for making the trip, and thank you for your $20.
That's right.
And enjoy that picture.
Yeah. Put it on your Facebook. Oh, no, he doesn't do Facebook, does he?
No, Matt does not do Facebook.
Put it in your, your photo album.
All right.
Ugh, no, I'm not doing that.
All right. Hail and kill caller. You're on the air.
Hail and kill, boys. It's Psycho Postman.
Hey, what's up, Psycho? Are you not in jail, or do you have a restraining order on you? Have you seen your kids? Everything okay down in Kentucky?
Yeah, everything's fine. The divorce actually got delayed.
The divorce got delayed. She changed her mind. She had second thoughts. She said, "I can't live without this man.
No,
I
God,
bore
no.
his children. I can't leave without him."
Shit. Now fuck her.
Fuck her.
No, we
Well, that's
showed up-
exactly what you did. You got 2 children.
Yeah, twice. Too many times. Too many times.
Yeah. Do you regret
No,
that? Is that a regret?
No, I love my kids, but
All right, you're just sorry they came from her snatch.
yeah, exactly. That
Right.
affects
I
me.
love you,
Yeah.
my daughter and son. I'm just sorry you came from your mother's snatch.
Yes, and hopefully they don't have the human papillomavirus as a result of the birth.
All right, Psycho, what can we do for you?
Did Matt say his last name is Shaver?
I think that's what he said. I'm not positive, but
Matt Shaver. And he's a big fan of Hairball?
I guess.
And he's got issues with eating his girlfriend's pussy?
Are you being a super sleuth right now? Are you using your powers as the postal agent to track Matt down? Are you secretly attracted to him in some way?
No, just from listening to this call and everything he said, that all just kind of came together and just kind of seemed kind of funny to me.
It can't. Well, why? Is there something? Is there a connection there?
Well, I mean, like he said, he went on a motorcycle ride, and he can't talk about Aubrey anymore, but she always wants to eat his pussy.
She always wants to eat his pussy.
Yeah. That was Freudian slip. No, she always wants him to eat her pussy.
Uh-huh.
His name's Matt Shaver. I'm just wondering if he does shaver.
I see. You're doing a little clever wordplay here. You're taking our gig.
Trying to get punny. Yeah.
So what time is your radio show on there, Psycho?
Whenever I call you guys. No, really wanted to call to let you know we got to go see the fake rat earlier this week.
Did you pay money for this?
We bought tickets for $10.
Who's we?
outside of the place.
Who is we?
Me and Postal Rocker.
Okay, so 2 CMS fans hook up together. You go to see Fake Rat. Now, what would cause you to leave your humble abode and go see Bobby Blotzer and his replacement guys?
so we could just fucking make a joke out of it and laugh at it.
Did that have any effect?
No, not really.
Did you go up and say to the singer, Steven, you sound better than ever?
No, I thought Steven was playing guitar, but that was actually Doc Ellis. Because they look a lot alike. But one of the chicks that was out in the crowd thought that Doc Ellis was Stephen Pierce.
Yeah, I know. I saw some Facebook posts somewhere.
Oh, that's not
Did the Facebook post that Chris put up this week come from you?
I don't think so.
Chris, where did that come from?
Somebody sent it to me, so I don't know where it came from exactly.
Well, this sounds like the same scenario.
It does.
Yeah, well, I just sent a picture of me and Postal Rocker, just with you can see the rat banner, or the fake rat banner, or the fat banner.
Now, did they have any kind of a meet and greet?
Not that well, the singer was actually out on the floor.
Ooh.
Before the show, watching the 2 warm-up bands.
Uh-huh.
There were a bunch of people going over and having their pictures taken with him, and I was telling my buddy, I was like, who is that? And he said, that's one of the guitarists. He didn't even know. He looks like the dude. He reminded me of Brandon Lee from The Crow.
Sure.
He was okay. Because I hadn't seen or heard any of the band on YouTube or anything, but he had a funny thing of putting his arm behind his back the whole time he was singing. And when they went into lack of communication, he totally forgot one of the verses. Just totally flubbed it. Doc Ellis was awesome, but he was really, really loud. And the other guitarist, I don't know what his name was, he kind of looked like Liz Phair. He jammed. He was good. But he looked like a chick.
Okay. Well, Chris, did you check in with the production agent over there?
No, I did not. Should I have?
No. What I meant is what is the producer saying?
Oh, he is saying that it's time for Psycho Postman to go.
All right. Oh, but the Blotzer.
No, he's saying right now, dude, you're late for your next interview.
All right. Well, hail and kill. Fuck you, pals, and hand jobs. Talk to you later.
I like the people who can't just end with hand job and just hang up. They have to go with, okay, talk to you later.
Can you take that little dialer thing that you have on your desk and just throw it against the wall? Please? Just throw it against the fucking wall. Shatter it. God.
So he and his friend went to see Blotzer.
And paid money.
And they paid money. They paid $10 a piece.
Wow.
That's $10 more than I would have paid.
Yeah, no kidding. Wow.
Well, speaking of that,
yes,
Blotzer, being if his band doesn't leave him before the 24th of September,
sure.
Don and Rat are playing at the Roxino, and I guess Mikey and family want to go. They bought tickets.
Yeah. Well, Mikey's not going. He's underage.
Well, he says he's going.
No, he's not. I was approached to see if we could find a way to get him to meet Don before the show, since he can't get into the show.
Well,
it's 21 and over.
Well, I know where he could meet Don before the show.
Yeah, and that's what I told him too.
Yeah,
we could hook him up with where he'll be about 6:00.
Correct.
I figured that's probably the easiest way to make that happen.
I would agree with that.
So,
all right.
So yeah, we can make that happen.
Sure. Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
All right, Neely, I called in for you.
All right, Sammy. I was trying to tell your...
Oh, they're telling us you got to go, Sam.
Am I off already, Chris?
Well, Chris is keeping a tight clock these days. He basically is, hankering for his former commercial radio gig, and he likes to run a hard clock.
Yeah, that's right.
And anyway, he's the guy who checks with the producer of the show to make sure things move along quickly.
That's right.
Okay.
So anyway, what's going on, Sammy? What's happening with Red Rain? And bring us up to date on being rejected
Snubbed.
for a cover band.
Well, Well, I texted you today to get this topic, this discussion to get going. As far as the news on Red Rain, there is none right now. Chip is still plugging away at stuff, and we have a little news, but nothing until it comes to fruition. There's some interest from some minor labels, which I have no idea what that means.
Why is there such an interest in having a label? What could, and I'm not being critical here, I'm just asking the question. What can a label do for you? What can they do for you?
Distribution. More distribution than what we can do.
Okay.
Is my understanding.
Okay.
And put maybe a little, when I say a little money, probably a little money more like an advertising and again, that would be a question for Chip. But
are you not?
My understanding is it's more distribution and I don't want to say worldwide, maybe worldwide, I don't know, but outside of our region. So that's probably what the.
Now, when you talk about distribution, are we actually speaking about physical CD distribution, or because? As you're well aware, and most everybody is that the way anybody gets music these days is through Spotify, Amazon, downloads, right. CD Baby, whatever it is, iTunes, or Apple Music, or whatever they changed it to these days. But is there such a thing as worldwide distribution anymore?
Good question. I don't know the answer to that.
I think you need to take charge, Sammy, and get with Chip and go, what the fuck does that really mean? What am I signing up for here?
Well, I mean, I do know. I mean, I've looked up some of the contacts that he's working on. I do see that they have. I'll give you one for instance, because you and Chris know real well. But Melodic Rock Records is one of them.
Okay, our good friend Andrew. Okay,
right. So I don't know how many units or how he moves units, whether it be via, again, Google Play and all that, or he actually sells any physical CDs.
All right. Hold on, Sammy. Let me give you something exact, and okay. I'll spell it out, and then you can take. If you don't remember it, you can take this clip to Chip and ask him. Okay. How will you make more money? You being Red Rain.
Yes.
By having a label versus by buying an aggregator for $29 for your album and having them distribute to iTunes and Amazon and Spotify and whatever. I think it's $29 per platform that it would cost to put the digital up, and then pressing 500 copies yourself and putting them on your own website for people that want hard copy. And then instead of paying a label recoup money, just straight out paying Chip $2,000 to $5,000 based on production, based on interviews and reviews and whatnot.
So that obviously, Chris, that's right, and you're right. But we weighed two different options. And to go back, I'll be short on this because I think we spoke about last time. We had decided we were going to, when we first met with Chip and we first got it with David and did the CD, the initial plan was for us to do it ourselves. There was going to be no label interest, no nothing. We were just going to do it just like you said. And it changed a little bit because Chip had some feedback on one of the songs, and so there's some interest. And to go to your point, if you remember correctly, we did put out a CD on our own, and we didn't get somebody behind Chip behind it, but we do have it on all those platforms. We have it on Google Drive and iTunes and everything else. And sales were, when I say good, they were terrible. I mean, sales were terrible doing it on our own. We feel like we need somebody to do the talking for us instead of us doing our own talking.
Okay, well, I'm gonna agree with you, Sammy. Getting exposure. Okay, I get the exposure part.
Right.
Okay, I get that part. But that's just basically, again, when I hear terms like distribution, okay, distributing a CD or music per se is nothing more difficult than having a platform to offer it on. So The only thing I can think of that a label might do is the promotion. That's it.
You're right. That's
And the thing is being able to go to a source to get a CD or get music MP3s or however people want to acquire it. They just need to know about it first.
Yeah. Well, there's also radio.
Yeah, no. I mean, yes and no. You're right. That's true. But again, we have the original Chasing Shadows out on everything now, and we don't have the resource to get it worldwide. When I say worldwide, nationwide, however you want to do it. I think, and again, this might be something better for Chip to explain better, but I think the dipping our toe into the label water is to see if there's any interest. The original CD was distributed by ourselves, was also given to Chip, and Chip had distributed to some people in the music industry, not labels, and it wasn't deemed good enough. So, in a lot of areas, so that's why we went and redid the songs and not redid the songs. We rearranged some of the songs, rearranged some of the words, and did it this way. There's a really good chance that matter of fact, Chip and I spoke today, but there's a good chance we're just going to call it off and do it on our own again. Let Chip go into publicity mode, and we'll go that route. But again, that's going to cost us out of our pocket a lot more money. That would be on top of what we've already paid, which was a lot of money.
Sure. Well,
so if you can get somebody to do so I know distribution and promotion is, we feel like if we can get a minor label to take most or half of that, then we've won the battle that we didn't win with the first CD.
Sure. Have you approached Top Fuel Records?
I have not approached anybody. That would be up to Chip. Chip's got Chip and I have not. Chip. I keep saying this, and I know it's a broken record. Chip has the plan. He's talked to, I believe, 5 or 6. I don't believe Top Fuel was one of them. That's Stephen Piercy's label, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. I should bring that to Chip. Chip actually asked me to ask you guys if y'all had anybody else recommended.
Oh, now we're supposed to do Chip's work for him now.
No. I didn't say that because I'm not getting in trouble saying that.
We're just joking.
But that's not why I called.
I know, but we like to bust your balls, and we love we love your diss though, dude, and we Chris and I think I can speak for Chris. We would love nothing better to see some kind of success come your way.
Yeah, of course.
I appreciate that. But I think Chip told me that Eddie Trunk might have might be exclusive on the interview with Red Rain.
Now you're doing it wrong, Sammy, because now you just crossed him off your list.
Yep, you're probably right. But that's not why I called. So
well, give us the reason why you called, Sammy.
Okay. Well, all right. So I'll end on this one. So Red Rain is moving forward. When some news comes out, you guys will definitely be the first. But there's really not a lot of movement. Only the fact Chip did tell me. I think a lot of these minor labels are over in Europe now for festival season, so I think it's kind of shut down for a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm. So
ending that. So okay. The reason I usually keep in touch with you, Neely, at least once a week or once every other week. So,
sure.
And then also, not to get too much into it, but I had some other issues today that you and I spoke about, Neely. But my question to Neely and Chris is, and Neely brought it up, is we have been snubbed, not just Vince Neil show, but 2 other shows for cover bands. Now, because I know Matt from Minnesota called, there is a difference between a tribute band and a cover band. This band is a bar band cover band. They're not getting paid to play in front of Vince, and they are playing old 70s, 80s, 90s music. I personally, when I go see a band, don't want to see a cover band. If I want to go see a cover band, I'll pay the $5 and go to a bar and see them. Don't think I want to see them on a national stage or with opening for a national act, whether it be Vince Neil, which Chris made the joke of it's almost like a cover band, but still Vince and Brett and all those other bands that are still going out and still touring the nation. I don't want to see a cover band that I could pay $5 in a bar to see. I was trying to get everybody's opinion on what they thought about that.
Well, when you said that they're not getting paid to open up for Vince, were you asking for anything to open up for Vince?
We were not.
So
but the
original, free cover band.
But here's the difference. Free. You're right. But here's the difference. That cover band. So here's the way I see the difference. Number one is we would do the show for free, but we also have we have a little bit of skin in the game because we're trying to get to a different level. A cover band's not going to get to that kind of level. I don't think. We have merchandise to sell. We have CDs to sell. It's better for, we're trying to move forward that way. The cover band is going to go play the show and go back and play a bar. That's number one. Number two is in the area, because this area is 45 minutes away from where we are, that cover band is not going to bring any more or bring any less than what we would bring. So it's even paced. So I mean, there's no advantage, I guess, to either one, with the exception of maybe us coming out, listening to some new music, some new rock and roll, and kind of keep, my opinion, kind of keep hard rock alive.
Chris?
The difference would be for the bar is that with a cover band, a cover band is like a permanent piss break. Where people, the minute they hear a song they don't like, they're going to go and fucking hit the bar and buy at the bar. Where if you start digging a band that you don't know, you'll stay through their whole set, so you won't drink as much. And that's probably why you got fucked by the bar, because the bar will make more money with a cover band. The bar itself will.
And
it's not a bar.
And the cover band and the cover band is kind of a jukebox. That they can play in the background, and you can kind of recognize the tunes. But original act, people go, I don't know this one. What is this? And it's not because it's not good. It's just that they can't go, oh yeah, it's nothing but a good time.
Right. Well, obviously it's what you know, but I don't know. I'm irritated by it. Because I'm like, I heard Chris say, when I go see a band, I look for newer music, and I think rock fans and hard rock fans will continue to look for newer music and see who the next band is on the horizon. That's how I feel, and that's why I texted you, said, hey, I got a topic, and see what other people feel.
Sure.
It may just be me. I don't know, but the hard rock industry is just spitting out the same garbage. And like you were talking about, I mean, half the bands that are out playing that we loved in the '80s have one member left or two members left, and I want to see what's up and coming. Again, here's the other thing. Opening for Vince Neil, it doesn't have to be Red Rain. It doesn't have to be me, but I would like to see another band that has original music. If it's not us, it doesn't. I'm not going to get every show, and I get that. But I'd rather see a band that's got some original music, got some nuts to get out there and try to play on their own. That's what I'd like to see.
I just
want to see what people thought about that.
I would never personally go and see. If I knew there was a cover band opening for any band, there's no way would I go see it, because I could listen to the songs and hear the originals in my car.
Right. That's my point.
I can do that, so why would I pay fucking $35 and waste 2 hours and make my feet fucking hurt standing there listening to a third-rate version of a fucking Poison song? No thanks.
Which is my point exactly. So, but and I know you said, well, if I saw a new band, I'd look them up online. But I think I don't want to speak for you. For me, I'm a little more excited knowing, hey, man, there's a new band. Now, the new band may suck. Hey, we may suck. People might think we stink. But, I think people out there, again, cover bands, we have the same 6 cover bands in Richmond playing the same bars. I mean, how many times are you going to go see them play the same songs over and over again? I want to see something new. I want to see what the new music's going to bring, because the old music's basically gone.
Yeah. Sometimes, but you know what? And I'm just playing devil's advocate because I don't necessarily believe this, but Neely can speak on this more than I can. a lot of times now when new bands come with your favorite bands, there's shitty bands that don't fit. Like, Neil, who did you see with Iron Maiden, Neely? Bullet for My Valentine or something?
Bullet for My Valentine opened up for Iron Maiden.
Who comes up and thinks that that's a good mix?
I have no idea, because that doesn't even sound good.
I mean, that's a piece of the problem, too, is that at least with a cover band, you know they fit. If they're playing 80s covers and Vince Neil is an 80s guy, then you know you're going to get music that matches at least.
True. And that's a good point. That's why I was asking. I was trying to get some feedback, what people think. Do people really want to go see that? And if they do, that's, I personally don't. I want to see new music.
I wouldn't go. Would you, Neely?
To go see a cover band?
Yeah, I mean, you might go see Vince Neil.
Yeah, I would not go to early enough to catch the cover band, no.
Would find out what time they're playing, what time Vince is going on, and that's when you'd show up.
Right, but I think the cover band services the people who are the woo party. Let me buy you a beer, bro.
Yeah,
those guys that got to get out of the house and go. Gotta go, honey. The show starts at 7, even though Vince doesn't come on till 9:30, just so he can go drink with his buddies and get out of the house.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. Being the Van Halen fan, Van Halen always had shitty openers, and so I've never. Well, I shouldn't say I've seen one. I've only seen one opener for Van Halen, which was Autograph. A couple years they had Kenny Wayne Shepherd. I don't even know if he was in the building. I didn't even go. I was at the bar until I heard.
Well, there
clapping.
You go. See, you did the same thing on Kenny Wayne Shepherd. Regardless, he still had at least a couple of hits on the radio.
Yeah, well, that's true. He did.
And you didn't.
I heard
you,
them.
And
I
you
just didn't physically see him.
Yes.
I heard them because I was out at the bar.
So, see, you had no interest in seeing him either.
Yeah, but that's Van Halen. When I go to other shows, I don't mind seeing the opener.
All right. But see, you just proved the point, though, that even you as a musician, you have your favorite band that you want to go see, and you had zero interest in seeing the opener.
And as much as this is going to sound silly, there are definitely people that are like that with Motley Crue. So they'll go see Vince, and they're not going to want to see anything but Vince.
Well, no, I get that, but let me touch back on the Van Halen thing. The reason why, like Kenny Wayne Shepherd, is Van Halen has, and I just use them because they're my favorite band, but Van Halen never had a match that opened with them. I mean, if they had a rock act, it's different. To me, I'm not a Kenny Wayne Shepherd fan. If I was, I'd go see him. I mean, I remember back in '82, I saw Van Halen. They had the Kings of Swing opening for him, and then when the reunion tour, or 2012, they had Kool and the Gang. I'm not a fan of that music. I mean, I don't dislike Kool and the Gang, but I don't need to see that. But if they had a rock act like Autograph, which wasn't a huge fan, but I wanted to check them out, or they, I remember David Lee in the day had Poison and Cinderella. I sat through all that because I was interested in that music.
Sure.
So maybe that's the same here. Maybe people are just interested in listening to covers before Vince comes on, but I don't know. I don't get it. And that was my whole point. I don't understand it.
It's a weird environment we live in these days, dude. Music, unfortunately, as much as I enjoy Red Rain and your previous work, and as much as I could get behind what you guys do, people just don't care anymore. They really don't.
I agree.
They don't care. It's not the same. It's not the days of when you and I and Chris, we would line up at the record store at midnight to get our favorite album. It's not like that anymore. It's just
and I sort of get that. I do sort of. I do get that. I understand that. But my God, I mean, how many times are we gonna have to keep watching the same old garbage and Voice and American Idol and all that bullshit and get down to some real,
because it's commercially sponsored. That's why, because it makes the networks money.
I know the reason, but damn, I mean,
it's about the money there, Sammy. I'm sorry to tell you, but it's always been about the money. It's the music business.
No, I get it. I do get it, Neely, but it's frustrating.
It is frustrating.
And the most frustrating thing is you can't even sniff a show in your own backyard. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, the couple bands that are from Richmond that are big, Firehouse, Lamb of God, and Guar, the three that I know. I know Lamb of God's pretty big. I mean, Firehouse doing pretty well, but Firehouse has a tough time here in Richmond. Richmond's just a shitbag town when it comes to that.
Sure.
So, but I just wanted y'all's opinion.
That's our opinion, Sammy. I mean, people just don't care. They don't. I mean, it's just not like it used to be. I wish I could turn back the clock 30 years when it comes to the music business side.
I agree with you.
Yeah. If that was possible, a guy like you, a band like yours, you guys could have a shot. But unfortunately, nobody has that shot anymore unless you're some kind of pop, some kind of a pop act that gets mainstream, for whatever there's left of it, mainstream radio play anymore, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go. If I'm going down, I'm going down in flames.
I hope you do what Chris and I do. Just do it because you enjoy it.
Well, I do. But here, and I expressed this to Chip today. The frustration is setting in. Look, I don't have to have big shows. I don't care about that. But we haven't had a show. We're not playing anywhere. Bars aren't going to book us because we're all original. We don't play covers, so bars don't want us. And now in your own backyard, when you got some of these promoters who I don't know if they know what they're doing or not, but you can't sniff that show. We love doing it. We just want to be on stage. I mean, that's what we're ready. We're ready to play. We're ready to play live, and that's where we're having more frustration. We're not having frustration getting people to listen to the CD, the promotional part of it yet, but the live part is the tough part, and that's where we're finding ourselves, shooting ourselves not shooting ourselves in the foot, but we're so frustrated that it's becoming to the point where it's like, why are we even having rehearsal tonight? But you can't think like that, but that's we're getting to that point.
I agree. Well, don't give up, Sammy. There's got to be an outlet for you somewhere out there.
Well, I hope so. We're definitely not giving up, but you just have to take it all in stride and reboot. And I think Chip and I are talking Monday and try to come up with another plan.
Well, you might have to do your own showcases or something.
Well, that's one of the things we're talking about. But I got to get Chip on your show. The questions y'all fire at me, I don't have answers.
Well, you better get more involved. You better get more involved there, band manager guy.
Well, I there's some things that I do know, but there's some things I got to let him, he's got to work. He's got to work for it. That's why we pay Chip the big bucks.
That's right, and that's why we let you come on our show for nothing.
And you know what? I appreciate that, and I'll never forget that.
Well, Sammy, am I allowed to play any of the new songs from your new CD? Or am I allowed to play anything more?
Yep. Yeah, you can. Sure.
Okay.
Play whatever you want. But I tell you, there's nothing better than calling you guys and taking a beating from you guys.
We don't beat you. Come on, get out of here.
You just told me a second ago you love fucking with me.
Yeah, we do. But you get us. That's why.
No, I know. I do. And it's great. Enjoy listening to y'all every week.
All right, excellent. All right, Sammy. Well, throw out those plugs and get people interested, and let us know when and how and where. When do you think people are going to be able to get your EP?
I tell you what, I don't know the answer today, but once I will have more of an answer when you guys come back. I know y'all off next week, but I'll have more of an answer, and I will let you know. Once, because again, we're talking Monday and going to revamp the way we're doing things. So I'll have an answer then.
All right. Well, I played.
But it's soon. It's soon.
All right. Well, I played Toxic tonight. So how about another pick from this EP? And what should we play?
Let's see. That's a good question. I say this all the time. For people who just like, in my opinion, plain old good, just hard rock, I say Red Rain. Play Red Rain.
Okay, we'll do it. Song. All right, Sammy, well, we look forward to the actual release so our fans can get a hold of it. I know you'll at least sell a few to our fans.
Well, I hope so. And once again, Chris and Neely, I thank you for letting me vent. And this is a great place to do it.
Excellent. All right. Well, Red Rain has a EP coming out soon. We'll keep you posted. So let's play the title track. It is Red Rain exclusively here. What, Sammy?
On your classic metal show.